A Geração C veio aqui à Aula Magna para o concerto de Hackett e tivemos o privilégio de ter uma longa conversa com o ex-guitarrista dos Genesis. Como é que é ver o Hackett agora de regresso a Portugal e a Lisboa após estes anos todos?
É ótimo, é o regresso de um amigo. Na altura eu fiz amizade com quase toda a gente, porque foi um concerto muito especial, por vários motivos. Primeiro, a tropa andou aos tiros dentro do pavilhão. Segundo, estavam cerca de, talvez, entre 6 a 8 mil pessoas cá fora sem bilhete. E o pavilhão rebentava pelas costuras, ultrapassava a lotação possível e imaginária. Estive com a filha do Peter Gabriel ao colo, sei lá, hoje é uma mulher crescida.
Canta com ele?
Exatamente. Estive com ela ao colo, pai, 3/4 de hora, enquanto o pai estava deliciado a olhar para o mar e ver aquelas gaivotas que nós conhecemos todas do guincho, que mergulham para buscar os peixes, enquanto ele, naquela altura, ser vegetariano era uma coisa assim um bocado estranha para nós. E eu dizia assim, isto é uma coisa esquisitíssima, ele misturava leite com iogurtes e aqueles flocos e umas coisas...
We are here with the legendary and now Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, Steve Hackett. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
Well, Steve was just speaking Portuguese with us. How did that come about? How do you know Portuguese?
I spend a lot of time in Brazil in the past for the music and friends, and I was married to a Brazilian lady, so this is why eu falo só pouco, mas não fluentemente, mas melhor que nada.
What's it like being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Like, not everyone gets in.
Not everybody gets in. No, it was a very good evening, muito emotional, and a very interesting time as well. I got to see many people who I'm a fan of as well. Many great people like Graham Nash and Jimmy Cliff. Ronnie Spector, and I got to speak to some of these people, and it was a wonderful evening, and of course, great to see the Genesis guys again.
About Out of the Tunnel's Mouth, your latest album, it has been the album that's been most well received in your career so far. Why do you think that is, and especially in comparison to, say, legendary albums now like your first 4 or 5 solo albums?
Well, I think there's 2 things. You either get better at what you do, or you get a lot worse. You either fall apart completely and go completely mad and burn out, or if you've been trying hard for a long time, maybe you start to get a few things right. If you look at all the genres, you could say it was like a pan-genre approach, covering the whole of the spectrum of music. It doesn't fit any definitions at all, other than the idea of progressive music which can change from moment to moment. It has its own spirit, it has its own ability maybe to talk back to itself, I think. I was criticised in the past for being too diverse within the course of one album, but I decided to make it a style in itself. Maybe next time we'll have a go at some fado as well.
Once I saw read Robert Fripp saying that you musicians really have no excuse to become, at least technically, worse. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I think I've always tried to improve technique, but I've always felt that one ought to subsume technique in favour of what the song demands, because I'm always worried that if you get too much technique and you're always displaying it, that the music becomes like sport. I'm not afraid of sentimentality. I would rather hear a short, heartfelt 3-minute song, or even 2-minute, from somebody than I would hear a mass of musical punctuation and no real statement at the bottom of it. So I don't think music has to be complicated for its own sake.
I've seen you say that some of your earlier material is full of wrong notes. Would you play these again? Do you agree that they give the material some character?
Well, I don't know if I said that they were full of wrong notes, but I may have said that they're probably out of time and out of tune. I could certainly criticise that, but Maybe it's the value is, the strength of the ideas with anyone you're listening to. I was talking to Pete Trewavas of Marillion about this, and he was saying how much he liked early Genesis Live, and I was saying, oh yeah, it was out of time and out of tune, and he said, I liked it because it was out of tune, because it was out of time. It's difficult music, and music, as I say, doesn't have to be difficult to justify itself. Even with Bach, which is arguably the most complicated music that any musician has to get his hands around, there's still a simplicity of line running through it. When you work with anybody, you find they're human, you find everyone makes mistakes, no one is a god this close, it's I don't believe he's doing that, I've seen him play perfectly live, or so I thought. You see the blemishes up close, you see the lines,
In the Genesis albums you've participated in, which one to you is most paradigmatic or most best describes the band for what it was meant to be?
Well, Genesis was about 20 different people over several decades. There is nothing which is truly definitive. It's the whole of the catalogue, of course. I was pleased with Selling England by the Pound. That was groundbreaking in terms of an unlikely mixture of things. A song constructed out of the idea of Scottish plain song, which becomes Elgarian, becomes hymn-like, and then becomes a forerunner to fusion, and then features tapping from the guitar and sweet picking and
This is Dancing with the Moonlit Night, by the way. Yes.
Just all in this one song, Dancing with the Moonlit Night, the first song on Selling England. It's got a lot to recommend it. If you don't like that, then you won't like any of the early period Genesis, I suspect. We were very lucky, it's a very privileged position to be in, to have been a member of Genesis, and the band is no more. Phil says there won't be any more Genesis, but I still love the early songs. I still have a lot of affection for them. But it means a lot to me when I find that, John Lennon liked some of what we did, Yehudi Menuhin liked some of what I did, Brian May liked things. These are people that continue to influence each other. Primero show con Genesis aquí, Cascais, and there was gunshots going off, crazy. It was so full. It was muito cheio de pessoal, gente, incrível. Próximo dia estava revolução. The avion we were on nearly crashed. It was muito perigoso. We skidded across the grass. Yeah. We nearly died. It was crazy. Maluco. Hi, this is Steve Hackett, and you're watching Geração C.